I deserve to be carried on somebody's back.
From then on, it was all downhill. Except what downhill? Even steeper than the ascent, and uneven steps meant for the next 45 minutes the most difficult of descents. I think it was Fee who described the Pacamayo campsite where we had lunch as like Butlins on the Inca Trail. And so it was with some pleasure that we left that to make the final climb of the day to our campsite next to a lake.
My fan club!
It took 5 hours to descend from Dead Woman's Pass across the track scouring the valley from left to right, lunch in the valley floor below, and then the climb to our campsite beside the lake at 12,500 feet. After all the pain and all the agony, the beauty and the solitude made it all worthwhile.
With sugar, without sugar.
Another early start, and then we're off on day 3. It takes less than an hour to reach the second pass at 13,000 feet, and we are rewarded for our efforts with a brand new snow-capped range of mountains. The steep path down is clear to the ruins of Sayamarca.
Buenos días.
Buenos días. Conchamarca is at the valley floor, and by now the sun has risen and it's starting to warm up.
Oh God, that's better.
And then once again, onwards and upwards to the third pass at 11,800 feet. The arid conditions now changed as we entered temperate jungle, and we were surrounded on either side by lichen and ferns. Linda persuaded a porter to swap loads for a short time.
God, it's really, really heavy, huh?
Down through one of the man-made Inca tunnels, and then one final view at high level before we descended towards a well-earned lunch. Our lunch stop also gave us a wonderful view of Inti Pata, the ruins just above our final destination of Winewena. However, we didn't have to take the path which you could see, we had to descend the 5,000 steps. It was at the Inca ruin of Fuyu Patamaga that we all saw our first condor. All the rest of the afternoon was spent in descending the 1,700 feet of Inca steps down to our campsite at Inti Pata. That night in the tent, Roxanne, our assistant guide, summed up our progress.
In the Inca Trail for 4 days with our group is very nice. It's very interesting for me. You walk very slowly.
Up the next morning at 3:30 for a 4:15 departure down to the checkpoint at Winewena.
Step.
Once we were signed in, all we had left on the Inca Trail was the final 90-minute walk to the sun gate of Inti Punco. Once there, we realised that we would not be seeing Machu Picchu from above today, and so Cesar kindly held up a postcard. Realising that we weren't going to see Machu Picchu from the sun gate, we descended the 1,000 feet down to the centre. Then, for the next 2 hours, Cesar showed us round. Linda whispered sweet nothings to a llama, who was not impressed. I think we all conquered private demons whilst on the trail, Fee more than anybody, until 4 days ago she suffered from vertigo. In late morning we left Machu Picchu and took the bus down to the railhead town of Aguas Calientes.
Oh, it's a good spot.
It could have been the euphoria after finishing the trek. It could also have been the beers and the pisco sours that we consumed. Whatever the reason, the rest of the afternoon was spent in the town of Aguas Calientes, and I'm sure many of the residents won't forget our visit in a hurry.
Are you watching, Susie? Are you watching?
In shopping, the team spent the equivalent of the GDP of a small Central American country. Five, 10, 250. At the end of the afternoon, we weaved our way in the dusk back to our hotel. The next day dawned clear, and a group of us went back to Machu Picchu to see the views that were denied us the day before. The day was spent in Machu Picchu, and then we all gathered to catch the early evening train back to Cusco. We very soon passed the bridge where we had started the trek just 5 days earlier, and then 4 hours later arrived above the city of Cusco in time for a magnificent firework display. Our final day in Cusco was spent watching, enjoying and even taking part in the wonderful parades that filled the city throughout the day. On behalf of the Sunny Side Up charity, thank you for sponsoring the trek, and we leave you with images of Cusco celebrating Inti Raymi, the winter solstice.